What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'll be taking you through my team selection for the upcoming Game Week 4. So that Game Week 4 deadline is finally approaching us as the international break days do tick down. So in this video, I can finally give you guys an update about my transfer plan as well as my team selection. Now just a reminder, probably no deadline stream coming up for this week as I'm currently still in Australia on work. But don't worry, follow me over on Twitter as well as my Discord page for all the updates, as I'll be updating you guys on my team over on there. So like always, first going to do a review of how Game Week 3 went, a very quick update as we've gone over it in quite a lot of depth. And then I'll be jumping to my transfer plan and finally my team selection where I might be making a -4. So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So as mentioned, a very quick update about how Game Week 3 went. I got above the average with 79 points and a nice little green arrow, but the rank's only going to come in around Game Week 10. So if you guys had a great game week as well, let me know in the comments down below. Was it a good week, a bad week, or an excellent week? If you guys owned both Salah and Haaland, you probably would have had a great week, but I only owned the one. Now unfortunately, nothing from our bench came about for those points. Bentley, Winks, and Harwood-Bellis as well as Johnson got a collective 1. One worrying factor was that Ben Johnson didn't feature for Ipswich yet again, which does make him quite unreliable. At least our starting 11 had a full feature, with Henderson between the sticks with 4 points. So finally, one of the weeks that Henderson actually outperformed some of the other 4.5s, a couple save points against Chelsea, in a game he was always expected to lose the clean sheet. So I definitely take those 4 points. As mentioned, Game Week 3 wasn't too great for clean sheets, so at least Henderson got some save points. Now backline contained the only clean sheet in Game Week 3, Liverpool as well as Trent, but unfortunately no attacking return. Even though he scored, Salah was ruled offside in the first goal. So I won't lie to you, I probably celebrated that goal a little bit too much, but I've been waiting for this Trent attacking return for about 3 weeks now. Then Pedro Porro as well as Gabriel both lost their clean sheet and therefore blanked without an attacking return. The Gabriel one was slightly more disappointing though, as Declan Rice got a red card. Just one of those things that we can't predict at the end of the day. Pretty certain that they would have had a clean sheet if he stayed on the field. So only the 2 points for the Arsenal man. Then as we said with Pedro Porro, we don't own him for the clean sheets, we own him for the attacking threat, which is becoming quite worrying as that Spurs defense looks simply shocking. But I guess our defense can't win it every single game week, and Game Week 3 only had 1 clean sheet. At least Trent keeps on performing. Then our midfield department, the ever reliable Saka with an assist, would have loved more, as he might be in competition with Salah, as that probably was my final decision in my Game Week 1 team. So at the moment, Salah's absolutely thrashing him in terms of the points, but he does come in more expensive. Then the patience with Eze resulted in a double-digit return. Always love to see that. Finally, the new transfer in Rodgers, unfortunately only the 2 points. He did create a big chance to Ollie Watkins though. Then also with Jota, watching my own team that I support score goals for fun and Jota not being involved did sting a little bit, but I always take a dub over United. Pretty confident that he will start the upcoming games as he looks to be slightly in form. Why change something that's working for Liverpool at the moment? Then why change the Erling Haaland captaincy to back-to-back Haddies? I probably should have used the triple captaincy, but I wasn't predicting another one. A massive 34 points, basically half of my tally. Just the great F4 asset at the end of the day seems to be doing well. Just ask the non-owners. Then Isaac also racking up maximum bonus points after getting a goal. Patience also paid off with him. Then the final option, Muniz, I don't really know what to say about the Fulham striker. Blanks against Ipswich, blanks against Leicester. That's the reason I brought him in with those lovely fixtures. To make matters worse, players like a João Pedro and a Chris Wood that come in cheaper and at the same price are doing better, and that's why I might look to take him out for a hit even in Game Week 4. But overall, as you guys can see, 79 points, a pretty decent game week. Let me know how your game week went in the comments down below. Now before we go over the actual transfer plan, I want to give you guys a little bit of insight into my current team. I'll be going over my team selection with no transfers made, and then I'll discuss the changes and the final team selection. On the right hand side, 2 free transfers and 1.5 in the bank, so a big upgrade can be made, and then I'll look to facilitate Salah for Game Week 4. So on the bench this week, it pretty much kind of picks itself every week from now to the wildcard is going to be the same. It's Bentley, Winks, Harwood-Bellis and Johnson. As mentioned, can't rely on Johnson for starts anymore. It seems like he's going to be benched. None of these players have great fixtures though. Between the sticks, Henderson has a great chance of a clean sheet. Leicester at home's a great game. Just hoping that he can rack up some save points to account for that clean sheet, because that'll result in bonus. That might be a bit of an expectation to get bonus points though, but I still have faith with Henderson to actually rack up a few. Then our backline starting off with Trent against Forest, a team that started the Prem season very well, but so has their Liverpool defence. So hopefully Game Week 4 is finally the week that he gets an attacking return, but as long as he racks up the clean sheets, he's great value for money. Don't know if you guys watched the England game but had a very nice game. Southgate might have had a disaster class. Then when I talk about our last two defenders together, it's Gabriel and Pedro Porro both play each other, Spurs hosting this one, and Gabriel potentially without his teammates Declan Rice as well as Odegaard. So I won't lie to you, if I had to choose either of these two to play, it probably would be Pedro Porro, as I can see both teams losing their clean sheet. So at the moment for me, Gabriel might be a transfer out, or it could be Pedro Porro. Let me know who you guys think scores more points in Game Week 4. Then our midfield department starting off with Saka has the same fixture. On the other hand though, I expect him to do pretty well, but regrettably I might be selling him this game week. I honestly think that Salah vs Saka in Game Week 4 is a massive debate, because Spurs can't keep a clean sheet at all at the moment. Eze though against Leicester, another kind of double-digit return will be very appreciated. This is a great game for the Crystal Palace maestro. Then will Rodgers be the Aston Villa maestro? Ollie Watkins struggling with form at the moment against this poor Everton side. He might even be on penalties after taking one for the England youth team. At his cheap price point though, any returns will be very appreciated, but it seems like everyone over on FPL Twitter does own him. Our final player Jota played in Portugal's game on Sunday and therefore should have a full week of rest, and therefore have no concerns about a start. Let's see what maybe Arne Slot says in the press conference coming up today or tomorrow, but as mentioned, why change something that's working with that Liverpool lineup? Then our frontline Erling Haaland against Brentford, definitely the Campsy material for this game week. Can he make it back to back Haddies? I just think at the moment Brentford can't really defend that well, and this is Man City at home, a completely different game. In my opinion, the best Campsy option. Then hopefully holding on to Isaac for this Wolves game will be quite nice. They can't defend and might have just lost his centre back to injury over the international break. So definitely want to monitor for this fixture, even commented about FPL in his press conference. What's there not to like? Definitely a player not to like though in my team is going to be Muniz from Fulham. This West Ham game, even though they've conceded a lot of XG, don't really have faith in him to score on this one, and that's why I might even take him out for a hit. At the moment though, he's going to be in my starting 11, because what would be better FPL than blanking against Ipswich as well as Leicester, but scoring against West Ham in the next one? Let's see what maybe happens if we keep him. But as mentioned, this is my team with no transfers made. I've got 2 and 1.5 in the bank. Maybe you guys can predict what moves I'm going to be making, maybe some suggestions will be appreciated. Let's get on to what I'm thinking. So as mentioned in my kind of team review and my team selection, the one move that I'm going to kind of facilitate this week is Saka to Salah, and therefore I need some money in the bank. Now this week might not be the best to do it, but game week 5 is when you want Salah. Bournemouth at home is the prime Campsy fixture. You guys can see Saka vs Haaland, Man City vs Arsenal in game week 5, and therefore I want to captain Salah. So I want to do this move this week, but I might postpone it to next week, as it's going to result in a -4 hit. It might not though. I'll talk about my kind of options throughout this transfer plan. It might get a little confusing, but just bear with me. So the conclusion to this move is I definitely want to do it for game week 5, but I might actually postpone it to next week because of my other transfers. I guess the biggest question mark to ask is, do you think Salah outperforms Saka by 4 points this week? I'd probably say it might be close. That Spurs game is a sleeper fixture. I think that Arsenal will be all out attack, and I expect Saka to continue this consistent form. So with the Saka to Salah move, I do need some value in the bank, and therefore the biggest downgrade I can do is Gabriel out. Now not too concerned about this move. He's got Spurs this week without Declan Rice, Man City next week against Erling Haaland. Can't see clean sheets in the next 2 fixtures. The only concern though is you probably want an Arsenal defender by game week 6, so just keeping him and benching him could just save a transfer. You guys have seen my bench though, it's very bad, and therefore I'm going to take him out for the value in the bank. Now the 2 options I've got currently, the number 1 at the moment is going to be Lewis Dunk from Brighton. He's got Ipswich and Nottingham Forest back to back, and he also comes in cheap at 4.5. Now if you guys watched my updated transfer plan on Monday, I mentioned Konza. Unfortunately though, in the England game he came off injured, but it might be a very short-term injury. Might even be so short-term that he's fine for the Everton game, but I'm going to wait for the press conference coming up on Thursday or Friday. So these two options at the moment are my favourites. There's someone like a Robinson that's out there for Fulham. I just can't see many clean sheets though over the next few fixtures. So at the moment it's deciding between Dunk or if Konza's fit. So I could actually just do this transfer plus the Salah transfer for the 2 free transfers, as I can afford the upgrade with this downgrade. Now there's another transfer that I'm actually considering from -4 hit, or what this would do is postpone the Saka to Salah move to game week 5. So that transfer is going to be João Pedro in, and you guys know who it's for. It's going to be for Muniz. So another downgrade I could have done is going to be João Pedro in for Isaac, a very popular transfer this week, but I'd rather downgrade Gabriel instead. So for me, Muniz out for João Pedro does look very tempting. João Pedro has 2 home games, Ipswich and Nottingham Forest back to back, but I guess Muniz doesn't have the worst fixtures with West Ham and Newcastle at home as well. I just think the Fulham forwards form is simply terrible, and I expect Brighton to do pretty well over the next 2. And don't worry about the international break travelling for João Pedro, he's already on a private jet back apparently. So this transfer, as mentioned, I could do in conjunction with the other 2 from -4 hit, or I could just keep Saka for this week against Spurs and go for Salah next week. That would save me a -4 and might actually be worth it, as Saka could still do pretty well. I do consider this to be more of a luxury transfer though, and therefore I might not go for it, but I am very tempted. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think I should do the -4 or just the 2 transfers, or even just keep Saka for this week and go for Salah next week? Otherwise, let me know your own transfer plans. If you guys have any dilemmas, comment them down below on my Discord server, where I am more active to be honest. I will try and update you guys and reply to you guys though. As mentioned, I'm still in Australia for work, and therefore the time zones are all mixed up, and that's why there won't be a deadline stream for Game Week 4. So what I'm going to do now is give you guys a final team selection with my current thoughts. This might be what I go with unless I update you guys. So I believe the 2 transfers I'm more likely to make are going to be the Gabriel downgrade and the Saka to Salah move, using my 2 free transfers. So at the moment I'm going to pencil in Lewis Dunk because Konza's out injured, but if we get the press conference news that he's back fit, I probably will go for him. Then Saka to Salah is an easy transfer. I back the Egyptian to absolutely bang it over the next 2 fixtures. So yes, that'll mean that Muniz is here for another week, but as mentioned, West Ham have conceded a lot of XG. So let me know what you guys think about these moves. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Or is there another route that you guys would prefer that I go for? No transfers have been locked in. I'm going to wait for those press conferences, and I'd probably advise you guys to do it as well. But I probably won't see you between now and Game Week 4, so good luck for Game Week 4. Hopefully the green arrows are going to be favourable, and let's hope Game Week 4 is an absolute banger. But this is basically a wrap for the video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you didn't subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. As mentioned, Twitter and Discord is where I'll be posting my team. Links in the description. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.